Wes Coas, RealSquad.com, first Roundtable Discussion with the Screw Shop, the home of the original Houston sound. I got Dirty and Nasty, I got Jon Black, I got Mr. Drinking and Driving himself.
Ain't this a bitch?
That's the new single, Ain't This a Bitch, Renzo. So we just wanted to sit down and have a discussion, you know, something about the culture. You know, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, I'm not from here, but like I tell people all the time, the culture's the same no matter where you go. It's still hip hop, it's still rap. Yeah. Some way you sit there and talking with your homeboys right now. These are like my homeboys. This is like the official Houston hangout. So we gonna hang. So first I'm gonna talk to Dirty and Nasty because they're like the first people I met down here. Actually, out of all of these, yeah, they are the first ones. And I know what you guys do to me is original, especially in Houston. So you can talk a little bit about like how you guys developed your style?
Yeah, back in 2007, what's good, man? We were in college, University of St. Thomas, and you know, we both knew we were musicians. You know, we both knew that we wanted to do something related to that. But I proposed an idea to Nasty, like, hey man, let's do a little side project. You know, he was with a group at the time, Legendary Voltron Crew, and you know, I was doing my own thing, you know, just playing guitar and, you know, writing songs or whatever. And I said, yo man, let's try and do something, man. So stepped to him and he was with it.
Yeah, he came to me with it, man, and it was like, you know, it's just a side project. So I'm thinking, you know, because he originally is singing, so I'm thinking, oh, I'm a rap, he gonna sing, and it's gonna be the project. He's like, nah, I want to rap. You want to rap? He was like, yeah, I want to rap. So, you know, we writing, we put together the album, we put together the album tracks, first album back in, and we ended up releasing it like.
We ended up dropping it in 2009.
We started writing it in like 2007,
and
like it was done.
In 2007, yeah.
Like it was done, but you know, setbacks. But we put it out in 2009, and that's how the ball got rolling, man. Like people were like, feeling it, and people were liking it when we were performing it, so it became a full-time thing.
You know, actually, I want to, you guys mention money, but I want to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Because no, I think that's an important thing, like for independent artists, especially like coming out, like everybody here has released some sort of project. But we'll get to that, Mr. Black. Well, excuse me, the incomparable Jon Black.
Incomparable Jon Black, the great.
Yeah.
How would you want to ask?
You know, just like how you got into it, how you start. Where did Jon Black come from? What makes you Jon Black?
Man, I'm from Southeast San Diego. I'm on the West Coast. If you know where I'm from, you know that shit ain't no joke. And you know, I'm more so into like doing hip hop type shit. You know what I mean? But where I'm from, that shit is just mostly like, it ain't even just gangster rap. I mean, that shit is like gang rap. You know what I mean? So either you banging or you not, and if you not, then that shit ain't really getting no play. So, motherfucker had to kind of move around and go find somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little more appreciative of the type of shit I do, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do gangster shit all the time, but if that's what you, is that what you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Is that what you trying to put out there? You know what I mean? Because whatever you get put on you, especially in music, I mean, music is real right there. That's you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're doing, 24/7. Talk that shit. Yeah, man. Don't be in Babies R Us or some shit shopping and think that shit gonna like die down. You know what I'm saying? So rather than do that, I just say fuck it. You know what I mean? I'll take my shit elsewhere where it's gonna be appreciated. You feel me? So that's it. That's how I'm out here in the age, man, doing my thing.
I got involved from high school. I'm Renzo. I'm from the north side of Houston. If you in Houston, you give a shit about that. If you're not, then you probably don't. But it's like two different worlds, from the south side and the north side. But I'm from Acres Home, and you know, just on the bus, we all sit there and make songs, and we rap and we sing shit on the radio or whatever the case. But then after a while, you know, I was always a journal writing motherfucker. So, and I use that term loosely. But I was always a journal writing motherfucker, and you know, after a while, my journalism it started turning into songs. It started turning into, you know, I want to put these in the rhymes. I want to express myself through poetry. So after a while, I started putting shit to beats, and that's why my music is the way it is, because it's about my everyday life. It may be boring to some, but this motherfucker is off the chain to me. So I'm really talking to myself when I record my music, and so y'all just happen to jump into it. So that's what's happening.
That's what you should call next project.
Fuck it.
No, well, actually, no. Y'all just jumping this shit. Yeah. You said you usually turn
Jumping in.
Was you using journal or motherfucker loose?
Motherfucker loose. Cool. I don't fuck only people who got kids. You know what I mean? I fuck people who don't have kids too. I don't, you know. I just want to make that clear. Yeah. Well, I'm married now, so I'm not, you know.
When you were single, you just had to have a vagina. That was all it was.
I mean, that's not what we here talking about.
Wait, you brought it up. I just want to clarify.
Right, that's what I wouldn't, you know, it ain't like I was just out fucking with people.
So back to the journal.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to say that.
So tell us about the journal.
Clear that shit.
Yeah, okay, appreciate it. What was it? I guess I should do something, but my name's Wes Coas, came from Compton, California originally. I came here to go to school. I ain't come here to rap. But as far as hip hop goes, been doing this since I was a kid, like real little. I'm older than everybody sitting at this table, so I'll tell my age. I don't care.
You're an old motherfucker.
Exactly. Old head all day. Now I tell you, first thing made me want to rap was a movie called Crush Groove. I was like real little.
Yeah.
32. I was like real little when Crush Groove came out, but I remember seeing that, and I actually wanted to be Russell Simmons. Like I wanted to be the Blair Underwood character. I didn't give a fuck about rap. Then I got older, and you know, I grew up in the 90s. Like that was my time, so rapping was just the thing to do. As far as coming here, I came here, got connected in many different ways, and then just put out my first project in like 07, and then that was a mixtape in 08. Didn't do nothing in 08. Oh, actually 08, I worked on my first album. 09, put out 2 albums, Manifest Destiny, another album.
And that's when we met you in South by, right?
Yeah, South by, through Clyde.
Yeah,
Clyde introduced me to you guys, and I had, you know what's funny? I think I told y'all the story. Y'all gave me a CD and I thought I lost it. I literally did not find the CD and hear y'all till probably like 2 days before I came to see you at this show perform at Tipping Point.
Wow.
I had never, like literally, I was singing Woo. I was like, that's my shit. So it's like, they got something called Woo, Ric Flair, if you like wrestling. Woo! But anyway, long story short, last year, I don't know, I did like 6 or 7 projects. Did a mixtape with Nocturno. I'm tripping like I don't know who, but went to Japan. A couple other things, but most importantly, really I just want to get down to the fact of, I know you guys, it's kind of like, I feel like kind of like, I knew you guys already of sorts. I met Renzo at a Bun B concert, and then somehow they got me to Jon Black. So it's like everybody here is still connected. You guys all knew each other prior to that. So in terms of, I guess I want to start here. I mean, other than John, everybody here is from Houston, right? Like originally?
Yeah.
So being in, well, where are you from?
I'm from MoCity, baby.
Well, you should introduce yourself too. Because I mean,
Is there smoking in here? Can we?
Oh, shit.
Now it's me. He's like, now it's me.
Shit, okay.
I guess the thing I want to talk about starting off is, since we're going to start with originality, and no matter how you look at it, no matter where you're watching from or what you think, DJ Screw, like, it's a whole nother sound. Like, for me being from the West Coast, we have nothing that sounds anything like this. Nothing whatsoever. At least not in LA. Like, I didn't grow up hearing anything near this. So to know that in this area, people have made a living and made money, like more money than independent artists in other places, based off this sound. Like, how did that affect you guys?
I'm gonna put you on some notes since you from California, West Side. You know what I'm saying? And due to you being from the West Side, it's imperative that I say this. DJ Screw is the reason why the streets, the underground streets of Houston, are aware of the Spice Ones, the Be Legits, the E40s, all of those artists that come from the Bay Area.
Putting that music in the mixes.
DJ Screw was an underground radio station for not just Houston, Texas, but for underground as a whole. You know, without the radio per se. You know, he was the radio. So understand what I'm saying? When you got a bunch of, what's the quote unquote real niggas, you know, and they believe and die by the songs that he's putting out. Man, that's 248 chapters out of Screw tapes, and there's over hundreds of them that have never even been released. And all I'm saying is a large percentage of them incorporate Cali artists. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But that's how we got the clue in to what goes down there.
Right. No, I feel you. I mean,
through the man.
A lot of things that I hear, a lot of things that I've heard since I've been here, and people will be like, you like this artist? And this artist that, like, everybody you name is they're from the Bay Area. Yeah. And the thing about California is, once you pass like Fresno, Like you go to Southern California, that music doesn't travel down.
No, it's a divide.
Yeah.
And that's the same indivisible dividing, and it's also invisible line within the city, like how he was saying north and south.
North and south.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, once you cross that I-10 on some real shit back in the day, you get your ass whooped, you know what I'm saying, on some real shit. Due to the promotion of what we was hearing through the songs on screw tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and it go through every avenue. Then, you know, you just got both sides of the track doing completely different things, but the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Because no matter where you from, somebody from another place is gonna look at me and him as the equivalent. I'm from Missouri City, which is the southwest of Southwest Houston. You know what I'm saying? But it's its own city. You know what I'm saying? When you got artists like Zero from there, Billy Cooks from there, you know, people like that, you know, but you know, at the same token, it's still the South Side. You know what I'm saying? And I heard what he do, and you know, he may have heard what I do, and even on separate sides of the track, we do the same thing to somebody from New York, Cali, up north. We do
in the same
bowl.
Same bowl.
With the same fish in the same bowl.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm
gonna get back to my original point in a second, but that's one of the things I tell anybody. I'm like, I came from California, but coming here, I learned a whole different way to apply what I learned here into me doing music, because
people say
this is an independent market. Like this, as much as people don't think about it, this is really an independent market.
People say if you can make it in
That's
New York,
what
you can make it anywhere. But it's most likely Houston.
Because back in the day, you know what I mean, rap labels, East Coast, West Coast, weren't showing love to down south artists. So you got like the rap lot.
It's not even just showing love. When I wake up, I can't walk down the street, see Sony, see Universal, but those are on the way to some nigga's house that live in the Bronx or Harlem. It ain't no 20 minutes up from his crib, but to where he can roam in those avenues here. We created our own sport, let alone its own league. It's a different sport.
But see, it's funny that goes into something I wanted to go into a little bit later. So I'm gonna come back to that. But I first want to touch on the fact of how the music that, as he explained, like Screw was doing to set the tone. How did it affect you guys?
Hey man, I remember in 1996 when I started getting into rap, I was jamming pop, but I would go to these school dances. And it was like if it wasn't pop, it was something from Houston. The DJ was one of the teachers. I think it was like the gym teacher or something. You know what I'm saying? Every other song, if it wasn't pop or some top 40 on the radio, it was a nigga that DJ Screw put out. And so that you know what I'm saying, was I ingested that subconsciously as well as consciously. You know, and it's funny because, you know, little did I know, you know, when I was making my little tapes on the radio, you know what I'm saying? All those songs came back to me when I got back into rap working with Nique. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, man, I remember that from da-da-da-da-da. You know, I remember that from, you know, that span. But that's how it influenced me, and that's how it became a part of my style, you know.
I'd say for me, man, like he said, like it's just like the soundtrack of you growing up, you know, like it more so worked on me like subconsciously, you know, because, you know, when I started getting into rap, it wasn't something that I, you know, sought out, but like once I started learning like what they did in New York and what they did in Chicago and what they did out west, and I saw how it all related to what we were doing down south, it was like, okay, you know, all this makes a lot more sense. And like you said, all these songs start to come back to you. And you just like, damn, I remember that shit, you know what I mean, from that dance. Or I remember that shit, you know, putting that on whatever little tape you had. So, you know what I mean? Like a big person who had a big influence, I think, on my style, somebody who I like a lot is Lil Keke. Just the way that he rapped, it's like just real, like, I don't know, like real rhythmic and real like just, you know what I mean? And I like to think I kind of rap like that a little bit too, and I think that's his influence. Like really anybody, you know, like even the artists that are out now, like you got artists on the track, you know what I mean, they'll sing and then they'll rap and then they'll go back into singing. Like that's a whole Houston style. Like you had niggas in Houston doing that like
forever.
Forever. And, you know,
and the patternization of rap singing, how boys now, well, I'm gonna just say how Zero was perfected lately. Yeah. You know, that originated, and I'm from Houston, you know what I'm saying, and I know, you know what I'm saying, but that originated from real penmen like Fat Pat, see, Fat Pat, if you ask, man, I sat in the car with Youngster not like 3 weeks ago and asked him if he can go in the radio store right now and buy any CD off the shelf, what would it be? And he was just like, a Fat Pat CD would be the only thing I spend my hard-earned money on. And that's